Welcome back, everybody, to the Arkansas State Red Wolves Dynasty. We are 3-2 here in Season 1 and 0-1 in the Sun Belt schedule. We're about to face a couple of tougher opponents as well we're going to see in the conference. Texas State, South Alabama, both are off to good starts this season. We are coming off a really disappointing loss last week, but I still feel really good about our chances of competing for a Sun Belt title here in Season 1. When you have a player as dominant as Cory Rucker, you're going to be in a lot of games. I also think the defense has been a pleasant surprise in a lot of areas. Last episode I talked about Devin Curtis. Today, A.G. McGee is the player that really stands out to me because I was worried about this pass defense coming into the year. And he's done a really good job preventing big plays, making plays on the football, and even coming away with finally the first interception of the dynasty. Now, he is a senior, so this is going to be the only year we get to have him in the series, but his skills can kind of be a benchmark. You can look at the ratings and say, okay, this is playing well at the Sun Belt level. Who are the next players then that are coming up to fill in his spot? I'm looking at Daniel Demery as one of those players who could be into a starting role next season. As we take a look here at the team stats, by the way, this menu has been improved a lot, I think, in College Football 26, given the different categories and the per play and per game stats being included, gives you a better idea of where you truly are. And now that we're 5 games in, we can see that we have ranked pretty well offensively and defensively. The pass defense has been better than expected. The run defense has still been weak at times. We are giving up 140 on the ground per game right now. And we are taking on Texas State next. This team actually has some really good skill talent. I can see why they're 3-1. I think this is one of the more talented offenses outside of the Power 4 teams that we're going to see this season. They have a couple 350-plus yard receivers so far, playing 4 games. So let's get into this one against Texas State, trying to put that bad loss, the way that ended last week, behind us. Thank you all for the great reception to the series. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And let's jump in to the first offensive possession with Jalen Rayner and the offense. 9 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Looking to start fast against the Bobcats. And this throw is at the feet of Cory Rucker. An uncharacteristic miss for Jalen Rayner. And then we forget to block one of their best edge rushers. And the opening drive goes nowhere. So here comes the defense for Arkansas State, facing a really talented Bobcat offense. This is Lincoln Perry getting the carry, and he goes down. Chris Body with the TFL. He's been a playmaker for us this year. Next, Javonte Mackey makes a good tackle, forcing a 3rd and long, where they surprisingly stick with the run. It's Torrance Burgess Jr. catching us by surprise. Bobcats continue. First throw of the day goes to a wide open receiver. And this is the SEC transfer from Auburn, Holden Gerner at quarterback. They go back to Burgess here, breaking a tackle, accelerating inside the 5. He's down to the 1. Devin Curtis, he ends up taking a bad angle and then missing the tackle. Big start on the ground for Texas State. Perry back in the game, and he breaks the play to put the Bobcats on the board. An impressive start for the Texas State offense, 7-0. Arkansas State hoping for a response. Here's a first down, run to Kenyon Clay, and he gets stuffed for a loss of 4. Next, Jalen Rayner trying to dump it for Clay, and he's unable to hold on. Not much going right early. It's 3rd and 14. Rayner trying to fire outside. The pass is batted down. Texas State off to a dominant start, trying to roll this into even more points. From there, 37. Here's a keeper, and Gerner gets run down. Nice play by Chris Body. We ultimately force 3rd and 8. And stepping up, Gerner just over his receiver's head. Almost a chance at a big play. Gets the ball back for the Red Wolves. Just trying to do the little things right, get a couple first downs. There's a good run for Kenyon Clay. on first down, trying to get the pass game on track, and it's a good catch made by tight end Tyler Fortenberry. Here's 3rd and 2, pressure coming through. Here's Rucker now, breaks a tackle, reverses field, gets away and takes off inside the 20, and he's gone. 56-yard touchdown. That's how you get things back on track. Just get the ball to your best player, let him make a play. Rucker takes a simple play, 52 yards here after the catch, on his way to a 56-yard score. He's had over 100 yards receiving in all but one game this season. I want to get everything out of him that we can this year. So 7 apiece for Arkansas State. I don't know what happened here exactly, but the kick goes out of bounds. Short field, I guess, for Texas State. Gerner on a bubble screen. Here's a nice play to the outside and some sloppy tackling now on our side. That's Chris Dawn Jr., one of their top receivers. He's making the catch here again on first down. And pay attention here to Devin Curtis. He bites on this fake, and that's why there is just so much space in the middle of the field. We cannot have that type of play happening. He's been great against the run, but that's a really bad play. Gerner now buying time. Nice movement, and then finds a receiver inside the 10, L.J. Johnson. To 3rd and goal. Plenty of time as the play unfolds, and Chris Dawn has the touchdown catch. Great pass protection on 3rd and goal, and Texas State is back in front. As Arkansas State woken up now, they picked up the big touchdown to Rucker, and on 3rd and 2, you gotta go back to him. He gets the first down. At their own 46 now, Kenyon Clay breaks a tackle. He's loose in the secondary and gets chased down at the 21. He's been the most efficient runner this season. Excellent contact balance. Picks up a very nice run of 33. And here is Rucker, unable to haul this one in. Rayner misses another one. This is just not like him. He's usually very accurate. 3rd and 7, again to the outside, but through the hands of Hunter Summers. Arkansas State stalls. Here is Clune Van Andel, right down the middle to make it 14-10. Let's jump ahead into the next Arkansas State possession. On 3rd and 7, where do you go? One-on-one to Cory Rucker. First down, Red Wolves. To our own 45. This is again 3rd down, and instead of Rucker, we go to Summers this time. He hauls it in. Had a nice 6-catch game last episode. And then Jaquez Cross rotates in. He gets 7. 3rd and 3, we put Rayner back to pass. He's going to drift, fire, bat it away. That's excellent coverage against Rucker. We'll try a 52-yard field goal now. And kick from Van Andel, off to the right and no good. Ball goes back to Texas State. They start the drive. Lincoln Perry here, running up the middle, and he gains 7. We stack the box a little more aggressively, and Perry picks up pressure. That's a 3rd down stop. Good tackle, A.G. McGee. Defense recovering from a rough start to the game. Meanwhile, pass gets out to Nana Burris for Arkansas State. That's a first down. Took us a little while to get going. Here's 2nd and 15. Converted easily. Cory Rucker coming across the middle. Not many answers for him in the first half. Here's Rayner sliding. Oh, get this one to Jaquez Cross, and he's got running room on one of his best catching runs of the year. Gain of 29. Here's a chance for the Red Wolves to go on top, but Cross gets stuffed for a loss. Ultimately having to settle for another field goal try. Van Andel gets this one through for a 1-point game. Here's an abbreviated 2-minute drill. Texas State still gonna run it. Here's Perry shaking a defender, getting all the way out to the sideline as he stops the clock with a good run. Now down to 50 seconds later in the possession, and good job staying patient and then running upfield. First down for Gerner. Down to 42 seconds. Wide open throw over the middle. L.J. Johnson. Time, though, becoming a factor. Gerner just gets the play off, and we can test that. Incomplete. Down to 10 seconds. Just want to keep the play in front of you, and that is what we do. Texas State burns their final timeout, and they're able to work into field goal range and just bend this one inside the right upright. And we go into the half with a 17-13 game, which I didn't think was too bad considering the way it had unfolded. This kind of felt like this could get ugly early on. But let's get into the second half where Arkansas State punting from inside the 10 and giving the Bobcats really good field position. Chris Dawn returns to the 36. And they have it first down. This is Perry, and he's stuffed. Aaron Alexander getting into the game. He makes the play. And on second down, the draw to Perry is a lot more successful. They pick up 10. We're loading the box here. We know they're going to run, and the play is made. It's Javonte Mackey. Brings up 4th and 5, and they do not send the field goal team out. Offense stays on against the blitz. Incomplete. Quincy Wright, number 99, gets through here. He has been a really nice pass rush presence as well alongside Chris Body. Really good recovery after giving them a short field. Still a 4-point game. Pass goes to Javion Fricks. He gets us close to a first down. In short yardage, it's Kenyon Clay, and he barely gets it. It was not easy to run the ball early. Little play action now. Plenty of time. Some of the best protection we'll see all year. Pass goes to Burris. He holds on to it. Now we're running speed option to the right. And flipped out. This is Clay. I love a well-executed speed option. And when the run game isn't really working great, it's nice to have those calls to mix it up. Then we got Nana Burris here on the jet touch pass, kind of an extension of the running game. And we go to 3rd and 5 now, where the pressure is just too much. The pressure off the left edge has been a problem all year. So we have to send out Van Andel again. And his kick from 49 is very, very strong and makes this a 1-point game. Late third quarter, Bobcats again trying to run outside, and they do block the edge this time. Lincoln Perry reaching ahead has the first. Perry met in the backfield, and he goes down. That is Brian Whitehead. Can we get off the field on 3rd and 7? Good protection. Gerner somehow gets it to the tight end. Mackey was right there, couldn't jar it loose. But this time, Trayvon Howard delivers a hit. That's the one they end up dropping. And Texas State is forced to kick another field goal. So a lot of kicks for both sides. It becomes 20-16. The final seconds coming off the clock here in the third quarter. A little play fake, get it to Rucker, and let him work to the outside, getting the first down. One more play here in the third. A run to Cross, and a good one. Picks up 7. That takes us into the fourth quarter. A very good game against the Bobcats. Rucker second down. Great catch again. Fortenberry continuing to be a reliable target. And he got way more than I expected there. Here's second down. Pressure again. And Texas State gets their third sack of the day. This left side has definitely struggled throughout the year. So we got 3rd and 18. What do you do here? Good protection by Cross. Lobbing this one up. It is off the hands of Hunter Summers. He would have been in the end zone. He showed us some good things, I thought, at times in the last episode, but this game certainly shows there's still a lot of work to do. This could have been 6, and Jalen Rayner knows it. We get nothing on that drive. Now that puts pressure on the defense with Perry getting loose, and he sheds a tackle of A.G. McGee and is all the way to the 39, over 100 yards. Here a couple plays later, we get them into third down, and the pressure on Marcus Bradley ends this drive. Neither team able to build up a large lead. 8 minutes to go in the game. Pass on the money. Cory Rucker makes the catch. Well over 100 yards for the 5th time this season. At midfield, Cross takes it inside the 45, 7 more yards. Clay had a lot of the carries in the first 3 quarters. Now Cross converts a 3rd and 3. We're getting somewhere on this drive, but then on 2nd down, everybody's blanketed. Really good coverage by Texas State. Just have to throw it away and try again on 3rd down as Summers cannot make the play. And had we gone crossbody here over the middle, there would have been a chance for Rucker. Instead, this drive stalls, and we're going to punt it here instead of trying a long field goal. We know that the 50-plus yard kicks are going to be a challenge, and this kick gets downed inside the 5. So if we can get a stop here, we can have good field position, but can you get off the field? Following a 1-yard gain, Lincoln Perry met and grinds ahead. He'll get 5, had to leave the field. They'll go to Burgess, and man, he made the most out of his plays. Good spin, picks up the 1st down. Now some room to operate the offense, and Burgess again in the secondary. Out across the 40, now we're inside 5 minutes to play. Here's Devin Curtis, that's where his value comes. Good stop against the run. On 2nd down now, they go back to Chris Dawn, his 10th catch of the game. So 3rd down, can you get the stop? Deep shot, it's caught! Got behind Trenton Allen Yao. Inside the 15 now, and Burgess again met by Devin Curtis. Sets up 3rd down, and a good call on the keeper. Gerner gets the 1st. Great drive for Texas State. Down to 3 minutes. Here's Gerner again. Lost the football, and Texas State lands on it. Almost a big takeaway. They fall on it now, and a touchdown here would be so difficult to overcome. Here's Burgess again. Devin Curtis makes the tackle. 3rd and goal. Here's your chance. It's Burgess making a move, and he's taken down shy of the end zone. 4th and goal, and Texas State playing aggressive on the road. They're going to go for the win here, and Lincoln Perry doesn't get it. We stuffed the run. He only gets it down to the 1-yard line. And that means we have to go the entire length of the field in a minute 16. Cross on the carry gets us some breathing room. We'll use our first timeout. Probably should have used one on defense. Now in the end zone and taking off is Rayner. That'll stop the clock, especially as we burn our 2nd timeout. Now down to 48 to play, and the pressure gets to Rayner, incomplete. 86 yards still to go. 3rd down, airing it out. Rucker leaps, and the defender uses the sideline perfectly. Just take him out of bounds. He had made that catch too. The game is now on the line. 4th and 8. Rucker has time and extends the play, and he finds Cory Rucker, who gets away. He's down the sideline. There's no one left, and he will go all the way. 86-yard touchdown, no way. And that's why he is the best receiver in the Sun Belt. Cory Rucker just saved the day. Another long catch and run. He breaks a tackle, escapes down the sideline. Why are they jogging there in the background? They thought the game was over. And instead, 23-20, 20 seconds left. Now we're trying to win this game. And Texas State has all their timeouts. They have to get in field goal range at the least. Gerner, 3rd down, checks it underneath. And that's just not going to get anywhere. Now down to 10 seconds. The game is on the line yet again. Arkansas State trying to end it. Burgess carries, gets the 1st down. Hard to justify a run there, especially when you have so far to go. 3 seconds left. Aired out. He caught it. Chris Dawn out of bounds. 1 second left. You've got to be kidding me. The perfect play to set up a field goal. to force overtime. Kick is up. It is good. Texas State rallies in 20 seconds. What a crazy final minute of regulation. And we're not finished. It's our second consecutive overtime game. And this time, Arkansas State opens with their defense on the field. Texas State ball. They start at the 25. Gerner, nice throw, hooking up again with the tight end. That's Titus Lyons. Gerner then keeping well blocked downfield and takes a big hit at the end. Down to the 1. They'll go to Burgess here, and he breaks the plane. Texas State takes the lead with a touchdown in overtime. We have to match it then. First down for Arkansas State. Dumped. Here's Kenyon Clay. Nice move. Showing the juke off that time. He's down to the 12. 360 yards passing now for Jalen Rayner. And Fortenberry gets upended in the end zone. 3rd and 13. It's Jalen Rayner to the end zone, and Rucker can't pull it down. It hit him in the hands. He could have had this. And now the game is on the line yet again. It's 4th and 13 from the 15-yard line. Rayner gets it to the end zone, and Cory Rucker does it again. His 3rd touchdown. You can't put us away. How many times are we one play away from losing this game and the Red Wolves find a way? You still have to hit the extra point though, and we do. 30 apiece. Double overtime now. And a touchdown here would result in a 2-point try. Here's Rayner. Short throw for Burris. It only gets 2 yards. Big 3rd down for Texas State. They crank up the pressure. We answer. Fortenberry converts. Trying to find one more touchdown. 12 yards away. Rayner throwing. Summers makes a leaping catch. It's 3rd down. Rucker off to the left. Well covered. Pass goes instead over the middle. Incomplete. So we're sending out the field goal team. Short kick on a hash. Who's nervous? Clune Van Andel, ain't he? Drills the kick. And now Texas State could potentially win it with a touchdown. Pressure on the defense again. Bobcats, 1st down, overthrown by Gerner. That was set up for some nice yardage. On 2nd down, here's Burgess. Great game for him. He gains 6. And now 3rd down, defense looking for the stop, going for the win. Bobcats can't make the play. Johnson hit in midair. They'll try the field goal now. And this kick is good. And that means we go to triple overtime where it is alternating 2-point conversion tries the rest of the way. 3 yards out, choosing to run. Burgess taken down. Javonte Mackey with the tackle. And that means if we convert here, the game is over. 1 play from victory. Arkansas State with Jalen Rayner throwing. Caught by Fortenberry. There's your game. What a finish. The Red Wolves take the game of the year against Texas State. One of the wildest games I have ever played on this channel. Cory Rucker, 8 catches, 235 yards, 3 touchdowns. He is an elite talent, and I cannot believe we found a way to win this game. There were 3 or 4 chances for them to put us away, and we just kept making the plays, whether it was the 4th down stop when they're trying to go up 2 scores late, which means if they convert there, the rest of this game does not happen. This is not the game of the year if they score a touchdown there. But the heroics by Cory Rucker on 4th down twice at the end of the game, just an unbelievable football game. And I can't believe that we got such a classic like this so early in the series. I don't know if we'll see one better the rest of the way. That 4th quarter and overtime blew my mind. What do you guys think of that one? Maybe that's the start of a rivalry here with the Texas State Bobcats. We move to 4-2 on the season when it looked like 3-3 was inevitable. That bumps our championship contender ranking up to a C-. Maybe that helps a little bit with recruiting, at least in the short term, if we keep these grades in the right direction. Cory Rucker is the Sun Belt Player of the Week and also the National Offensive Player of the Week. No player took over a game quite like Cory Rucker did. And that brings us to the halfway point of the season and our bye week. Let's talk some recruiting now. Our toughest battle is perhaps for strong safety Donald Lane. I'd like to get him here on a visit in week 9. We're going to take advantage of the coach prestige deal breaker and bring him in. And then we're going to look at a couple more players and adjusting some of the points. So Rashawn Driver was a player I scouted last episode. Pretty good athlete, a raw cornerback. I want to put more points into that battle. And then we have satisfied a deal breaker for Randy Haslam, a gem right tackle. I really want to bring him in. We're going to move past our bye week. We see our championship contender grade actually goes up again to now a solid C. And our next game is going to be a tough one against South Alabama. But going back to recruiting for this week, now we see UAB is showing interest in Keenan Kamara. I still, want to try bringing him in, but we'll see if they're able to close the gap at all. Most of these players only have one scholarship offer, so that battle gets more interesting. We are going to increase the points now on Rashawn Driver. I want the solid 25 points. I also want to increase the points on Randy Haslam. We're still waiting for the first player to make a decision, but because we can't really hard sell in most cases, these are moving slowly toward the finish line. I still really want to bring in BJ Wasevich. I could see him in a starting role or at least an early playing time role next season. I was paying a lot of attention to the linebacker play. I'm looking at Javonte Mackey and Devin Curtis, and whenever they're making plays, it's typically against the run. But there was one play I highlighted during this game that stood out where we had Curtis bite on a fake. We give up a huge play behind him. I think I need to reduce the snaps for these more run-first linebackers. I think that they can play a lot in the red zone and when the field shrinks, but I think early on drives with standard starting field position, we need to have guys like Aaron Alexander out there more. So I'm messing with the formation subs, and I'll have to do some substituting during games so that especially when opponents are inside the 30, we'll say, I want to get Curtis more snaps, but less overall. We are now 4-2, and a lot of teams in our division are, by the way. Our division seems like the stronger one on paper. Let's check out the Heisman watch. No Cory Rucker here. We do see that wide receiver Jeremiah Smith is in the top 5, so how does he compare? Jeremiah Smith is the nation's leading receiver with 848 yards. Cory Rucker is at 750 in the same amount of games played. But Rucker has been one of the country's best receivers easily. And he's helped make year one more successful than you'd probably expect a traditional year one in a dynasty. He is simply one of the best overall players in the Sun Belt, and without him, what's our record even at this point? We do not win today's game without Cory Rucker. And that has me thinking about what is life going to be like next year when we lose the senior receiver who is far and away our best player. Hunter Summers had some tough moments today, and I don't see a lot of players that can come close to that upside. There's Cobb, the redshirt sophomore, who has the closest speed and athleticism, but he's like a 5'6", 160-pound receiver. I don't think he'll make the contested plays that we get out of Cory Rucker at times or the yards after the catch. I think there's a really good chance that a player like Ofisa Orlando just steps into like the #1 role next year. If you're looking for athleticism and separation ability, he has it. I haven't scouted Jalen Dwyer fully, but his route running at least looks like it's a step ahead of many of the players on our roster. And then you have to consider that we probably are looking in the portal for another top receiver next season. And hopefully the success of Rucker in the passing game make other receivers more interested in coming here. That was always a problem in my Buffalo dynasty. I felt like we could rarely fill in holes in the portal. I know this year, in this game, it's going to be more important as we lose more players. And players on the level of Cory Rucker are not easily replaced. That is going to do it for today, everybody. Just one game in this one. I don't really have to explain why, but I hope you enjoyed it, and this was a fun way for me to really put this format to the test in a one-game capacity, because there was no need to throw another one at the end of a banger like that. Leave your thoughts below, everybody. Please subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one.